So today I want to make some little bookmarks. I've got a piece of Rocklon, which is basically just drapery lining fabric. It is the blackout weight, and it's super cheap at Joann's. So I've just cut a strip, and then I heated it with my blow dryer to make it lay flat because I had it in a roll. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my magic blocks out because that's such a fun technique. And what magic blocks are is they are a really, really dense foam sponge that you can heat, and it will take the image of anything you press the heated side into. This was a stencil. This was some little butterfly findings. These were keys. This was a stamp. This was a stencil. I've done lace, done all kinds of things. So anyway, what you're going to do is you're going to take your heat gun. It's got to be a heat gun because blow dryers just don't get hot enough. And you heat it up. I use a palette knife to kind of keep it in place. About 1 inch for about 30 seconds. Not super long. Whoops, hi, I'm back. Don't melt all your other things. I've got a heat mat underneath. I'm going to press this on this project that has these gears. Okay, and now I've got a really nice gear shape. I don't know that I'm warm enough, so I'm going to go ahead and heat it up a little bit more. Trying not to hit that area that I had just pressed into this gear. Okay, ooh, that's a nice good. And now I'm softened up just a little bit. I'll do it one more time. So the magic about this is when you heat it back up, it disappears. So that's what makes these magical, is the fact that they disappear. Okay, and that's a nice gear. So now I'll try and get another one over here. Actually, I think I'm going to go snag some of these bricks down here. And they've just been put on with embossing paste. And so now I have a line, and I have a gear, and I have all kinds of things going on. So I've got that set up to use. And now I want to color my background. Well, so these are lovely for not only, let's get one without anything on it, for not only doing your stamping with, but it's also fantastic for painting with. So I'm going to put out some bright colors. I've got Quin Magenta. These are the Deco Art Media paints, and they are so phenomenal. Don't even get me started. I'm going to put out Cerulean Blue. You can use whatever other paints you have, but I do think that you're going to want to give these a try. And then I'm going to use translucent white in between the colors. I'll show you what this looks like in just a second. And one more for the green. Okay, so this is what this looks like on my palette. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scoop and apply a generous amount of paint. And then I'll come in here, I guess I could have just left that. Scoop and apply a generous amount of paint. Same thing. Go into my white and make it a slight mix. You can use whatever colors you want. Go here with a mix, scoop and apply, make that slightly mixed. Wash your brush out, and then what I'm going to do, and I might have to do a couple passes with this, keeping in mind that a bookmark isn't very big. I could probably make like a whole sheet of these and then cut out my bookmarks. But for right now, what I want to do is just kind of create a really interesting effect. I like that. Okay, I think that's going to make a wonderful little tie-dye bookmark. Okay, the way you clean these things, these magic blocks, is you go ahead and you just squirt it with some water and you wipe them off. It's as easy as that. And then you clean up your nonstick mat. This is a nonstick mat, and it is heat-proof and stick-proof. Like, stuff doesn't stick to it, it'll peel right off. So if you're painting at your dining room table and things like that, you'd probably want to get you one of these. And it's great for not letting this heat gun damage your surface. So I'm going to allow this to dry for just a second. Alright, so I'm going to do a little bit of stenciling before I move on to stamping. Studio R12 has this wonderful line of stencils that's 4x4 or 6x6, and they come with a little ring divider thingy, or not divider, but holder on our thingy. And they have all the backgrounds that you could ever want. There's just a jillion of them, and these are not all the ones that I have. But really lovely to be able to just have them all on a ring and know what you want to use. Okay, and so maybe, do I want to do some hearts? I'm not thinking hearts right now. I'm thinking diamonds. So get our diamonds out and just kind of lay them over. And then we'll just go a little bit randomly into our colors. And maybe I'll do a little bit of the darker pink on my darker pink and see what that does. You can move it on down the road. That'll kind of blend them, but it'll give it a little bit of texture. Okay, and then maybe we want to go into our blue. Just wipe to blend those two colors together. And I'm not thinking the same exact thing. I'm thinking maybe let's try a little bit of a check. And maybe we'll just do a little bit of a check at the top and the bottom. I think that's kind of interesting. Just fade it just a little bit. The other side, that's kind of fun. Oh, I feel like I've got some of those like socks, you know, that just have wild colors and stuff like that. And what if we did a little bit of polka dots? I'm going to a little bit of black and a little bit of Quin Violet on our violet color. Yeah. And I like to just rub across stencils because it makes it a little bit freer, not so stippled looking. Okay, I think that is just smashingly fun. I love it. And I think maybe some stars on the green. Let's find my little star. Oops, my star one is out. I've got a separate brush for that. And we'll just go into the white. I don't know how well that's going to show up because the white is transparent. Yeah, that shows. Let's get that lined up for the green. Okay, so now we have wild patterns, which is just too much fun. I'm going to let this dry for just a second. Okay, so now I think we're going to need a little bit of our lighter pink for this light area, and I'm going to go on this gear, and I'm just going to slip slap just a little bit around, and then I'll stamp that on. Okay, and that's not light enough, so I'll go into white, and I'll do it again. Okay, and I can see that just a little bit, so I'm not dissatisfied with that. Yeah, oh, that looks really, 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 really cool. Okay, now let's go grab some bricks, and let's do those in the dark blue. And so slip slapping is going to make it so it doesn't make a solid look. And we're just looking for layered texture. I like that. And we'll go grab a little bit of white again for the little gear. And that's too light over there. Get it over there. All right, awesome. And then the way we clean it, once again, just squirt with a little water and just wipe it off. Try to get it out of the shape by just pushing a little bit harder, because then you won't be confused by what is pressed in for the next time. We had some butterflies done, and the paint is just real thick in one area because we didn't clean it out. So this is smooth, and I can repress, but it's not going to do, it's going to confuse people when they're using it. So try not to do that. Okay, and then next, we're just going to take one of Studio R12's stencils, which are laying here on my table somewhere. And I think love. Love is a good word. So let's just go right down the middle. Let's get a little bit of blue, a little bit of green, a little bit of all the colors. There. Okay, yeah. Like that. And then we'll use our brush, and we'll go into a little bit of black mixed with the darker colors of those paints so that you can see it. And this is on fabric, so it's going to be a little bit more, a little bit weirder to do. And then I'll go into whatever color is going to be darker than the area I'm on. So I've gone backwards into the magenta We can sneak a peek. Can you see it? I think we can see it. Magenta, sneaking into a little bit of the violet. And now we'll go into, with a dirty brush, into the blue, because that's going to be like a mixing area. And then here we'll go into phthalo turquoise. And maybe we'll mix that down over here just a little bit, so it's not so much. And on the edges of our green. And one more brush on with the green. And maybe a little bit of Viridian. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so now we've got a multi-colored love word, and let me cut it into a shape. I'm just using a little L square to make my lines, and I'm lining up the letters because it's see-through. I can make this nice and square. Okay, and I'll line up the tops of my letters. Do that as well. Okay, and now I'm just using a little scalloped ruler to make a little pattern. Sort of centered, not really. You could make it the more traditional shape, but I think the little bit of jazz is going to be kind of cute. Alright, next what you're going to want to do, I've got my shape cut out. You know, what a lovely little just thinking about you gift. I'm going to varnish both sides, and you can paint both sides as well. I'm going to varnish both sides with a couple of coats of whatever sheen varnish you want. And that will thicken this material up so that it acts like it's like cardboard or chipboard, that kind of thing. So you can actually make embellishments out of this, and they'll be nice and hard. You can use watercolor paper, I just didn't have any. And now I'm going to move this so that I'm not bathed in that varnish slosh right there. Let it dry, and then just put on more coats.